all across the unknown world, rediscovery pushes ever onwards to find the lands and people lost. All thanks to our brave explorers.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Vanya, the Wolfkin Warrior.
Hey, I'm Livy. I'm going to be playing Rayri, the Sprite Ranger.
Hi, my name's Theo, and I'm playing Cal, the Sangvar Guardian.
I'm Georgia, and I will be playing Elfric Stormhawk, a Dragon Scent Bard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Azakar, a Majani Seraph.
And my name is DM Dan, the GM in these adventures. The further we go, the more we learn of these magical tales from elsewhere. Hi, welcome back to Explorers of Elsewhere's Tales from Elsewhere. Hi. Hello, DM Dan from the future here. Just a quick heads up that we were struck by the lag goblins in the second half of this episode, which I've done my best to kind of work around, but the video might look a bit odd in places. Please bear with us. Hopefully it's just a one-off thing, and we're making changes for future episodes to make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, thanks. Bye. I am DM Dan, and I am joined tonight by Nate, Nate, Livy, Georgia, Theo, and Dan. Hello.
I'm just so in character that I'm just Rayri now.
You are
This is
Rayri.
me.
You
Just
are
me.
Rayri. We rejoin the five of you. You've in a relatively quick series of events, you've been sought out, you've been propositioned with a mission to a region of the rediscovered world called Merethisos, the site of a region that played host to an unfortunately failed expedition to set up a new settlement in the area. But yes, an Archmagister elect has asked you to accompany him to the location in order to locate any kind of artifacts that may have been used by enemy forces once upon a time, and return them to the city of Avamore to kind of live in the safe protection of presumably the mages. And you have recently arrived in Merethisos via portal, and you've been kind of walking along these strange, like volcanic rock plains covered in a thick orange carpet, like thick orange moss. And we snap back to the six of you, Gannis, the Archmagister elect included, sat around a campfire. I'm hoping you can all see the campfire.
Yes.
Beautiful. In which case, where's that all? Sorry, where's that selected? Oh no, I'm gonna have to refresh. Hold! Just gonna quickly refresh that page. Yeah, we find the six of you, sat around a campfire in front of your beautifully colour-coded tents. The sky overhead is a deep violet, punctuated by starlight, like the stars. It's a beautifully clear night, and in the distance, like enormously overgrown fireflies, there are these cored, floating orbs of magma that are just kind of bobbing around. Now that the temperature has largely dropped and you're being kept warm by the campfire, there's a cooking pot held over the open flames, The campfire is keeping you warm. But yeah, these orbs have they're gently floating around 10 to 15 feet off the ground. And yeah, we find the six of you kind of gathered around. There's been a moment of sort of like reverence, of just kind of taking in the natural beauty of what you see around you. But who is it that kind of breaks the thoughtful silence? Yes, Vanya.
Probably not in the real heartfelt talk way that this campfire work this kind of leads towards, but there's definitely like Vanya's definitely breaking the silence by almost doing a whole Senji moment of like, where you cut the meat into slices, get the skewer stick, you put the meat, but you got to separate the meat with this veg. And he's like talking through like how he's cooking up a meal of Radigator, it's skewers mixed with crystal tower fruit that we got from that adventure.
Okay.
And you'll probably tell some story as well about how fearsome this Radigator was. So there's some background noise.
I mean, Alfred wasn't there for the crystal adventure, so I imagine he's very excited to hear what you got up to.
Vanya, what was the most memorably impressive moment of that Crystal Tower mission? The first mission that the five of you it was the four of you kind of ventured out on.
I think it would be should I say this in character? I'll give it a go in character. As he's like been like talking about how he came across this strange enlarged magical fruit within this tower that some of us had traversed in as he was getting story, and Alfred, you probably mentioned you're probably asking questions and stuff, and I think at this moment it'll be Vanya be like, as he's like putting the meat on to cook over the heat of the fire and slowly turning them, he's like, well, there's nothing quite like being in combat and being on the same level as one of your companions in the heat of it. You know, it's hard to explain. Me and Azakar, we're trying to fight this dragon scent ghost. I know. Everyone was not having a great time with this fellow. He seems quite powerful. But alas, it was glorious. You should have seen it. There was this moment where me and Azakar were there, and we were in sync. And with this divine magic of his in my primal gauntlet, we managed to strike a blow so powerful. I don't know what the word is, convergence or something like that, I don't know. Mixture of primal and divine working together. There's something about that level of connection within a fight. It just gets the blood boiling. And it was great. I never felt like a true explorer until that point.
How does Azakar's memory of that tie in? Given that what happened to Azakar immediately prior to?
Azakar is overhearing this, and he's keeping very quiet. He actually still feels quite ashamed how close he was to death that day, and how coming from the brink of it, even though it was quite a large blow that we made and was able to defeat Adtrac, he felt like he sort of lost himself a little bit in the fight, in the situation, and he's not used to that. He's much more used to being composed, and he's been thinking a lot more recently how within this group his composure does seem to slip from time to time.
Okay. Azakar, as you have these thoughts, who do you notice is sort of like watching you as Vanier boldly proclaims about this heroic tale? Who's kind of watching you for your reaction?
I would say probably Cal.
Oh.
And while Azakar is trying to sort of push this back to his mind, he then realizes that he's being watched by Cal, and he sort of just straightens himself out and just sort of pretends that he's listening.
Does Cal have anything to add to Vanya's story?
I think... trying to think now. I think necessarily I don't think he's really engaging in the story that much. I think his brain is full of other things. It's almost like happenstance. He's heard the name Azakar, he looks up. Because he's very used to Vanya telling stories. He's very... not that he's blocking him out, because that's not it, but he's very used to...
the captive audience.
Yeah. Alfric is into it. He knows Vanya's a great storyteller. He would not take that from him. But it's more the case of he notices that Azakar gets funny about him looking that way. So instead, Cal just gives him a kind of polite nod, and then just looks away. He's probably more concerned about Rayri after her reaction to arriving, especially after her reaction to holding his coat. So I think really his mind is on that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, in which case, as you turn your attentions from Azakar to Rayri, who's sat next to you, presumably kind of nestled in the prone form of Vinny, like the curled up Vinny. What's going through Rayri's mind right now?
I think Rayri's just kind of sitting there, just kind of staring at the fire, and she looks to Cal as she notices that Cal is looking at her, and she looks at him and she just says, do you think the fire is intrinsically bad? Do you think, all it does is take away?
That's not true. That's not true, Rayri.
Do you think it's... But what does it give?
What's it doing now? It's giving us a meal. It's keeping us warm. There is good and bad for all things. It's about how it's used.
But everyone's scared of fire, really, aren't they?
Fire in hands of people who misuse it can be bad, but that does not mean it is bad. People can be scared of lots of different things. Doesn't mean it's bad. And I feel like Cal will offer his arm out for her if she wants a hug.
She'll just like kind of take it and just kind of hold it, and you can feel like how warm her little hand is, and she just can't stop looking at the fire and just thinking about just everything that's happened and everything that fire means to her, and she's just she's just thinking. She's just like, did I ever tell you what happened to my home?
No, you didn't. You can tell me if you want to, but you don't have to.
Well, fire burnt it all down. And that's just the whole place went. And that's like part of me, isn't it? That's what I am. Just burning everything up. And all I do is just destroy everything.
Oh, Riri, that's not true. That is definitely not true. You haven't burnt everything up. You are warm and kind, and you've built things. Tippy Taps was made because of you. That's not destruction, that's creation.
Yeah, but I'll probably just mess that up as well.
Riri, do you... How much do you love that shop?
Quite a lot.
And it's something you really wanted to do?
Yeah,
Then you're not gonna screw it up.
but that's what happened to my home. I love that very much.
And bad things sometimes can happen. But this time you have us. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. She just kind of nuzzles down, just holding his hand like a little pillow. I guess. I hope that fruit that he's cooking is still all right. He's had it in his bag for so long.
Over a month.
Oh no, it's a special cool bag that keeps it fresh. But no, he at that point, you hear Vanya's like, that should do it. And he picks up the various like skewers, and he's like, oh, forgot something. And he takes this mysterious like salt type substance, sprinkles it on each of the skewers. He's like, right, here you are, everyone. And he starts passing them out, seeing this like moment happen as well. And it's like, well, for starters, let's get some warm food in our bellies. That always makes us feel better. And yeah, he's passing out these like skewers out to everyone. Rajagator skewers with these like segmented on the skewer with this like fruit, and like that's been roasted a bit on the fire, and this this special salt, mystery salt that's been sprinkled on.
As Vanier is handing out this meal, this kebabi-like meal, Alfric, you've just kind of witnessed this kind of glorious, heroic, triumphant tale, and then been privy to quite a vulnerable display from Riri. Which seems, I would argue, quite uncharacteristic from what you know of Riri. But hearing, like, and also as you kind of glance to your right, out the corner of your eye, you can't help but your eyes linger for a moment on the Azakar has like burn marks down his left side, right?
Yeah.
So you notice that there are these kind of burnt scars down Azakar's left side, you know, across his left cheek and kind of down his left arm. And hearing this kind of tragic tale of Riri's and her, like, you know, the place where she grew up, standing in stark contrast to your own story of upbringing. What's going through your mind as you kind of hear these stories of, like, real world tragedy?
I think it hasn't escaped Alfric's notice that the two adventures that kind of, you know, caught the eye of the powers that be and are the reason that we're here currently are the two adventures that he was not a part of. Or, you know, the ones that were made a large deal of before we came here were the two that this group had before he came. And I think he's, especially these past couple of weeks, he's been nursing the beginnings of what one might call imposter syndrome, as he's begun to realize that sometimes bad things happen and they can't all be fixed just because you're heroic enough and brave enough. They can just happen. And that is a horrible existential thing to happen in the mind of small boy. So I think it's begun to sort of dawn on him that maybe things can't be controlled in the way that he sort of always learnt that they can, and that he is much more sheltered than he previously was conscious of. So I think in order to kind of distract himself and to try and help, he will get his violin out, because he doesn't quite know how to broach those kind of subjects with people. They've not been things that he's ever had to talk about or address in any way other than, you know, the horrors of war happened beyond his family's estate. He wasn't even involved in what happened all those years ago. Well, not all those years ago, not even very long ago. So he will play what song is it? He will play a heartbreaking song, and everyone will gain a hope.
Aww. Everyone gains a hope.
That is the only way that he really knows how to express that apology in a way.
Ravi's just like lying down, eating her kebab, just sadly eating a kebab, listening to a sad song.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
You know my ability to give free hope and gain free hope?
Yes.
Could I, in this moment, instead gaining 3 hope, to give as I'm passing the food out, hearing this, like, really right moment between these 2 individuals of our team, really bringing, like, reality and home, the hardships of what we do. I'd rather forgo me gaining free hope and provide it to both Cal and Riri, as part of me providing this food and sustenance to try and give them a little bit of hope.
Okay.
Would that be possible?
I mean, I'll pause you because technically I did compliment Riri quite a bit, which means that we both get free hope.
Yeah, it would work. You might as well. Yeah, that works.
I could have so much hope.
I'll be busting with it.
I should talk about my dead family more often.
Well, no, that sounds more apt, I think, to be fair.
Okay.
So maybe
Yeah.
in this case, I'll just spend it with Alfric instead, as I'd be regaining this heroic tale to Alfric.
Sure.
Um,
Okay, so
So, yeah,
Alfric
Alfric, you get
gains 3
extra
hope.
hope,
Okay,
and me.
so that takes
and then
Alfric
one
up to
hope
4/6.
from everyone gets 1 hope from the song.
Vanya gets up to 6.
Um,
And then, sorry, Cal and Ray
can I reduce one of them to put them into a
Slayer dice.
yeah? Can I sacrifice a hope
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
going to Slayer die?
Down to 3. What? So sorry. What was Cal and Ray Reed's interaction? What did that give you? Anything mechanically?
Cal and Ray get they get 3 hope each.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Hope's a rare resource. DM down laughed. Right. Okay. So everyone but me and Azakar on max hope/fear. Oh no, Vanya's on 5. Vanya's on 5. Okay, very good. In which case, the yes, Chris in YouTube is Chris. You're very right. Gannis is sort of like looking at the 5 of you, and like he's just kind of taking in the stories. He turns to regard you as a car. How long have you been a devotee of Aya?
All my life. It is what I was raised. I was born close to the temple. I was raised by the temple.
And you've never... Has your heart ever been gripped by another? Or have you found your faith to be ironclad?
He looks at Gannis in a sort of like, what kind of question is that? No.
Gannis smiles and sort of like nods. Sometimes I wonder how life would be different if we all had such a stalwart guiding light, guiding principle to direct us through life. I am somewhat envious of you, Azakar.
He ponders on this for a while, kind of thinking like, well, you could just do what I do, and then you... but he nods, trying to sort of understand, and says, there were times where my faith was very tested. The war definitely was almost a large turning point for me. But I had to trust that Aya was always by my side and always had my best interests at heart. Like she does everyone here.
Gannis is quiet for a moment. The war really showed us what makes us us. There are a great many tragedies and wrongs that came from that time. But I suppose we could argue that it has provided us with clarity, with purpose. And whilst I would never wish to return to such a destructive time, perhaps I can take some solace in knowing that we have survived such a troublesome time.
What about yourself? What has led you down your path?
I'm a wielder of the arcane. I live my life looking over my shoulder, wielding the powers of the enemy. As I say, the war gives us perspective, I feel. And it has given me the encouragement to do what needs must be done to ensure that life continues as it should. Elsewhere continues as it should. There are some who say that we still live in a tumultuous time. There are forces of loyal to a Khan and his brood still moving through the world. There are those who find themselves torn between the mandates of Aya's brood and the emergence of the world spirits. So I find myself a wanderer in a world of split loyalties, doing everything I can to make sure that what I do is the right thing to do for the right powers that be.
And what do you feel is the right thing to do? And he sort of squints at him slightly, knowing full well that there's lots of people he's probably met who thought they all knew what was the right thing to do.
He holds your gaze for a while, for a few seconds, and then breaks away. Perhaps when I know for certain, I'll let you know, he says with an apologetic smile.
I'll hold you to that.
Gannis nods and curiously thanks you. Are there any other discussions that anyone would like to have with other members of the group? Anyone who wants to hold someone down and give them a stern talking to? Or are we all ready to retire? Full of Radigator, was it?
Radigator, which is a large crocodile-like creature that has a electrical sac in it that, almost like an eel, just electrocutes prey.
Okay.
As it snaps.
Well,
hard foe to slay.
Okay, well,
bit of seafood. Well, river food.
Well, actually, first things first. You know what, Chris? I think I will. Azakar, let's give you one. Let's give you one hope for talking to the NPC. Doing a campfire.
Oh, thanks.
Campfire chat with the NPC. So for your belly's full. The embers of the campfire begin to the campfire begins to burn down to embers, like softly glowing embers. But despite the night sky being clear, the area is surprisingly warm. Whether or not, the ground underneath you still feels warm. Worryingly, perhaps that means there's some sort of kind of active magma underfoot. But if nothing else, these cool kind of globes of floating kind of magma that are crusted over. So there's just a soft kind of radiant glow peeking out through the cracks between the cooled surface. They seem to be radiating kind of a gentle heat through the area in general. As you retire to sleep, who's taking we need 4 people to sit on watch for 2 hour stints, beg my pardon. Who's going to be on first watch?
I'm happy to go, this Cal.
Okay.
Alfric, good to go.
Alfric second.
And me after.
Then Vanier. And who's taking last, Rayri or Azaka? Oh, you're on mute, Rayri. Livy. May. Okay. Rayri. You look tired, Azakar. You should get some sleep. You get a full night's sleep. Okay.
Could I ask something as we're sort of preparing to settle down? Azakar is going to go, after he's had this conversation, and he's going to dismiss himself from the rest of his colleagues and go into his tent. He's going to go down into he's going to sit down on his little bedspread, cross his legs, go into a meditative state, and spend 3 hope to do some divination.
Ooh. Okay, so you're down to 1 hope.
No hope. Oh yeah, 1 hope.
1
Yay.
hope. Also, while I'm here, roll your prayer dice.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. What is it?
2d4s.
3d4. I think in the last session, I rolled 2d4s when actually it was meant to be 3.
Oh, I see. I'm just going to put everyone to bed as an aside. There we are. Just put you in your little tents.
We got a 4.
Oh, no,
we've got a 3. And we got a 1.
Oh. Oh, someone turned off the campfire.
Sleepy night.
Oh no, someone turned off the campfire.
Oh.
Right, turn the campfire back on. And then we'll put Gannis to bed as well. Okay, so it's just Cal out. And so what did you roll? You rolled a 4, a 3, and a 1. Very good.
Yes.
Okay. So Cal, you take first watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hang on, Dan.
what?
I was doing some divination.
Sorry, yeah.
He wants to talk to
I
God.
want to talk to God.
You want to talk to God. Okay, talk to me. That's how I respond. Talk to me.
Hello.
Hello.
So, yeah, you have to... I'm going to ask one question about an event, a person, place, or situation in the near future. Your vision of the world will momentarily twist and shape around you to show the answer, though it may be cryptic, obscured, or partial.
Okay.
So, I'm going to ask a question about...
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ramp up the ante slightly. And I'm going to ask that the other 4 of you deafen yourselves in Discord.
Oh.
So you can hear neither the question nor the answer. And when I wave frantically, you can undeafen yourselves. Remember to deafen, not mute. So deafen yourselves. So it's the picture of the headphones, I think.
I do.
In Discord, click the... Actually, if you click on the Discord icon on your taskbar, there's a little headphone icon. That makes sense.
Headphone icon.
Or
I'm going to do that.
okay, and then give me a thumbs up when you're deafened.
Can you hear us? La 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 la. Can you still?
Okay,
Or just take your headphones off.
So
Yeah,
Dan can take his headphones off. Yeah. Is Livy deafened? I mean, you responded, so I'm going to argue not. Are we all good? We all good? I think they're all deafened.
Okay.
Cool. Ask a question.
I would like to ask about this temple we're going to.
Okay.
What can we expect?
So I give you. Do you roll to see, or is it just I give you a straight and or
No,
cryptic answer
I just spent 3 hope.
to make? Okay.
Yeah.
You are presented with visions of a temple carved into the side of the mountains. The pillars and walls ravaged by the passing of time. But there is a chroma glow from within, like a glow of shifting hues. And as you have a vision of sort of like passing through the corridors of this kind of stone temple, and your vision lingers for a moment on a sigil that you know is the sigil of Naravid, the Doomsayer. A betrayer god who was a master of divination. There, and as you flow further into seemingly the heart of the temple, your vision starts to become blurry, almost as if your vision is beginning to crystallize, and you're kind of peering out from inside a crystal prism. And just before your vision becomes so opaque you can't make anything out, you see a silhouette, a humanoid silhouette, stood in front of this glowing crystal shard that juts from the temple floor, that appears to be bleeding. And at that point your vision completely crusts over and you're back in your tent.
Okay. Good to know.
All good?
Good.
Okay. Hello? Oh, I think Theo's muted.
Hello.
Yay.
Alright, Dan's back, George is back, Livy's back. Okay, so...
Guys, we're all having a hot tub party. It's going to be great.
Hi.
Yay!
Yeah.
Did you ask what we're getting for pudding?
Yeah.
Cal, you take first watch. you notice that it's Azakar's tent lamp that goes out last. And you've got a 2-hour stint. The first hour, you're watching the campfire slowly kind of sputter out. What's the most kind of engaging thought on your mind as you kind of pass the time, as you kind of keep tabs on your surroundings?
I think it is the conversation between Cal and Rayri that continues to twist through his mind. And it makes him think of home for the first time in a long, long time, and his own past, which he's not really shared with anyone either. And for the first time in a long time, it used to be a routine, but now not so much anymore. He finds himself playing with the necklace tucked in his shirt, the chain there, and thinking. And then consistently reminds himself as what he said to Rayri about, like, powerful things in the hands of bad people is bad, but powerful things in the hands of good people can do good. And I think that's what he continually tries to think about, and it leads him to think about the war as well. It just brings up a lot of stuff in his head that he hasn't really had to think about in a while. But he's still relatively content. He's not like distracted. It's more like these like kind of ongoing thoughts as he does his usual kind of watch rounds.
Okay. Roll me an instinct check. A reactive instinct.
Instinct check. Oh no.
And what is your instinct score?
So it's a +1. So it's a 10, so 11 with hope.
Okay. So as it's instinctive, you won't get the hope, nor would you have gotten fear. And as you find yourself kind of lost in the thought of like power in the hands of good, you hear the snapping, the crunching of the moss a moment too late. As with a, where's my dice? I'm going to take advantage, unfortunately. A 27 to hit.
Yeah, that hits, Dan.
Okay. You feel like a heavy object swing round, and you feel 3 sharp, burning, searing, like, points of pain as this claw reaches round you and yanks you backwards off the log that you're sitting on, and you're hurled a good 15 feet, sliding to sliding next to a pile of rocks just out of the camp in the darkness. And like in the low light, you can't make out what it is that just attacked you, but you can see from the silhouette of it, from the dying camp light, that it is this big quadrupedal creature, and there's this thick tail that's swishing behind it, and you can see the outlines of these two large curved horns jutting from the back of its skull, reaching forward, similar to that of a ram's or a goat's. And as you're flung to the side, you're going to take 13 damage. So I should say that we are... I'm going to house rule until the rules officially release that we can use multiple armor slots to reduce damage down in chunks. It has been confirmed that you can only use one per attack, but I think a lot of numbers need to change for us to... that to be a super good idea. But for now, that is 13 damage, Cal, as you're flung across the mossy ground.
Cool. So I have 9 armor. So that's within my major damage between 8 and 22. So if I remember rightly, I can just use an armor slot to bring that down to minor damage, and then it's only 1 HP. Am I correct?
Correct.
Maybe I finally understand the system. Maybe that's where we are.
No, that is absolutely spot on.
Until they change it all.
Until they change it again. Cool. Okay, I have something I would like to do though, because I keep forgetting to do it, so I'm going to do it now. So when I'm hit by an enemy in melee range, I can roll a number of 6 d6 equal to the amount of hit points I marked, so 1d6. And for each result over 5+, I can deal that point back to the enemy.
Okay.
As part of my vengeance subclass. Which I've never used. So let's do that. So basically, I roll a d6. If it's above a 5, I give that back.
Okay.
So let's see if I do that. It's not above a 5. Okay. So, okay, it was worth a shot. But, hey-ho.
Okay.
That's annoying. Is there anything else I can do? No, that's it.
Okay. I officially start combat, I'm gonna... let me just add everyone into the combat tracker. Oh, come on now. Hold. Add you to the combat. Add you to the combat. Add you to the combat. Okay, so as we start combat proper, Cal, this beast, this creature that's just kind of flung you across the ground, you smell this kind of hot, rancid breath, presumably emitting from its maw. You can see these long, like dagger-like fangs glinting in the low light of the campfire. I'm going to spend a fear to activate again with its relentless ability. It's going to like, you see a flash from its... You see a flash of yellow, presumably from its eyes, and there's a huff of there's a huff from its snout, you assume. On a 4+, your evasion score is halved as it leaps on you, and chomps down a second time. You won't have advantage this time, but it's a d20 plus 3. That's a 17 to hit, and your evasion is halved.
Oh yeah, it certainly hit me. Yeah.
In which case, it rolls an 18 for damage.
Okay. Cool. So same again. Another armor slot. Another HP. And it does say I think I can do that vengeance thing again as long as I'm hit by an enemy in melee range.
Yeah, that's
I'm just going to do that again just in case it does. It does mean I can. Okay. Yay! I got a 6. So yeah. So for each result of 5+, deal a hit point back to the enemy. So is that 2 hit points or 1 hit point?
so
Does the 5 count?
Yeah, 5 counts, so it takes 1 point of damage. Okay, the creature lets out this bestial roar as you stab into it, and it's sort of like as it kind of bites down into you and thrashes you around, as you kind of spear it with. I'm going to say maybe you spear it with the dagger, like as it's up close.
Yeah, sure.
In which case you come loose from its maw as you kind of rake it across the flank, and it's now kind of stood fully silhouetted by the campfire. I'm going to pass over initiative, and I will have to pass it to you, Cal, as you're the only one conscious right now.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, before I pass it over, everyone else Well, I'll just say everyone else can make an instinct check with disadvantage. So what we got?
That's a 4.
Oh no, a 4, an 8.
Well, that's a 9.
A 9.
I've got +1 on instinct, but. What's happening here?
You just sound asleep.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, Oh no, never mind.
And Riri?
Oh, this bedroll's quite comfortable, actually.
This is such a comfy bed.
Did we get the hope and fear on this, or is this like a reaction?
So, reaction.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I think Cal will probably cry out. A 10. A 10 from Riri.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It means
Does Riri hear me?
Riri is awake. So I'll turn on Riri's light. Riri, you're woken up because Vinny kind of shimmies around at the sound of this kind of roar. And like, you're not at the moment, you're not sure what's happening, but yeah, something has woken up Riri. But Cal, you are currently on the ground, like on one knee. This creature you can sense it's right in front of you, but you can't really. All you've got to go on is like a silhouette, really. Tell you what, let me turn up the brightness a little bit, because I'm kind like that.
Okay.
You can't see shit.
I'm going.
By all means, as you're on watch, if you want to put away one of your weapons, you can draw a torch that you would have had on watch instead.
Okay, I'm going. In that case, am I still able to, like, as a free action, call out to the group to be like? I'm trying to think of what I would say.
I will argue. I'll let you let everyone else make another reactive, like, instinct check, perception check, if you will, for a stress.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah.
Done. Right. In which case, as you shout out across your camp, everyone roll again.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, Riri, you automatically pass because you are awake, but you now know that Cal is calling for reasons.
Oh, that's a little bit better.
Is it disadvantage again?
Disadvantage, yeah.
Yes.
I rolled a 6.
I've got a plus instinct. That's a 12.
12. Okay. Azakar and Vanier, you both kind of well, Azakar, you snap upright when you hear Cal. Cal, what is it you're shouting? Just like help?
I feel like I think he's calling out like for reinforcements. So I think he wouldn't say help. I think that seems very uncal.
Attack!
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like monster.
In which case, yeah, Azakar, you like snap upright. Vanier, you're a bit more groggy as you kind of sit up and like some of your hair's sticking up as you are face down on the pillow. But you wake up and realise that the two of you are also now awake. So I'll turn your lights on. And Vanier. Yeah, you two are now eligible to jump into the initiative.
Cool.
Yay.
Can I have a torch and my broadsword out?
Torch and the broadsword. So let me. Yeah. So you put away the dagger. Yeah.
The usual.
So the torch.
Yeah.
Let's go. 10-5. And as you spark the torch along the floor and hold it aloft, in front of you, looming over you, is a large four-legged draconic beast. It's got this jagged spike, like large jagged lower jaw, and it's got a large fin that stems from the base of its neck or most of the way down its body. It's got these powerful legs. It's got kind of ridges across its forehead and brow, and it's about 4-5 foot wide. But yeah, there's a powerful huff from its snout as you spark your torch and illuminate it.
Okay.
Well, what do you do?
Am I able to attack still, or have I done too much?
No, absolutely, go for it.
That's a yes to attacking. Okay, cool. I'm going to hit him with my broadsword.
Okay.
Yes, I think that seems like the most sensible thing to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the roll. And that's a 22 plus 4 to hit.
Okay, 26 is a hit.
Fantastic. Okay, so that is 2d8 plus 3. Where? So 2d8. 13, 16 damage.
16 damage. So you slash at it, and you manage to deal a major wound to it. And it roars and sort of staggers back a few steps, and then sort of like lets out an almost gibbering roar in response to you. Cool. That do you want to move? It's right up in your grill.
Cal is not a person who gets out of the way of a monster. There's no point. He can't really do long range. It feels very much like Aragorn fighting the Ringwraiths, like with his torch and his sword. He's using the sword like that. I feel like he's literally like facing this draconic creature down. It's like, come on, then. He's already been bitten. He's pretty sure that he's going to be next to be munched on again. Sure. So he's all good.
Okay. In which case, who wants to step in next? Rayri, Azakar, or Vanya?
So I'm quite close, aren't I, in terms of people? Obviously, I know Rayri was up before, so unless Ray wanted to act quickly, but sure. In that case, the sound of the word monster is music to his ears.
Mm-hmm.
as out of the grogginess, he's like, monster? Yes. And he kind of like goes underneath like his tent to see where this light is coming from, and going along the shadows comes running up to this creature. And yeah, I'm going to because I can, I'm going to activate my deadly focus to give myself an extra proficiency as I focus down on this creature. The pure joy of having a monster to slain, I would like to use my experience, thrill of the hunt.
Okay.
So I'm using a hope spend on an experience to gain +3 to this. So this will be made with +6 total to attack.
Okay.
So let me just roll. With +6 on this. 13 + 6. 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
So this is going to be 3d10 plus 3 points of damage. And I'll describe it in a second. Where's my d10s? Yes, d12. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Roll. So that's 16 points of damage. Like primal magic damage in total.
Okay. In which case, as you describe it to me.
So, all I can imagine is from Cal's vision, the camera is behind Cal, like holding up this torch in the dark and seeing this like shape coming into light, trying to attack him. But then there's another shape that just comes out from behind the creature in the shadows, like jumping, leaping on top of the creature, grabbing its horns to try and pull it back, and crushing like the creature around the head, like almost trying to pull on its skull.
Okay, so in which case, yeah, as
your thighs.
With my arm.
as you grab this,
yes.
So this is clearly a dragon spawn of some sort. But yeah, as you grab this, the curved horns at the back of its neck, back of its head, like you're wrestling with the creature, and you can see these thick muscle, like sinewy muscles, tautining as it wrestles with you. It looks like it's like Komodo dragon-like shaped, but just quite a lot spikier, quite a lot. It's got the big fin down its back. But that is major damage that you do to it. Is you leap onto it now that it's illuminated and grapple it with Cal. Anything else?
I could. Oh, I forgot. No, never mind. I'll save the Slayer die. I don't think I can do anything else this turn. But yeah, narratively, I'm trying to like wrestle with this creature. It probably like shakes me off a moment or something to get ready for another attack. But I'm like, fresh meat.
Okay.
Yeah. There's this like really like disturbing smile with like the light, like when you get trying to light and like a torch underneath your face. You just see this manic look on Vanier as he's wrestling with this creature.
Okay, I'm going to jump back in. I'm going to spend another fear to activate again. And as you jump on the creature's back, it's like thrashing you left and right, and Cal, you can see the creature trying to turn its head to see what it is that's attacking it from behind, and then it just stops, and then its eyes, it's like vertically slitted eyes, widen, and the pupils begin to glow, I'm going to spend a fear to drop me down to 2. I need the 2 of you to make me instinct reaction rolls.
Just as a quick note from last, I did roll that attack with hope.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yep. And did Cal roll with hope?
So I gain a hope.
Cal roll.
Which adds to my Slayer die. Yeah, I'm adding it to my Slayer die rather than give myself an extra hope.
Oh, right, okay. So back down to 4.
So I'm on 4 out of 6.
I rolled with hope because I got 22 with hope.
Cal goes up to 5. Okay.
So unless I'm assuming you spent a resource to activate, or
I've spent an action, fear to activate.
Right, instinct roll then.
And then another to force a roll for you.
That's a 10 from me.
Okay. And Vanya?
What was it? Sorry,
instinct.
Yeah. What was the roll? Just remind me. Instinct.
Yeah.
Got ya. The +2 on this. Oh, wrong thing. This. Oh no! I got a 7. 7 with fear.
A 7 with fear. Okay,
Then
so
this is a reaction. So
as the creature's eyes flash, I will on failure. Oh no! It uses old rules. The next time you 2 go to activate, it will cost you an additional. If you don't skip a turn, it will. Okay, tell you what, the next time the 2 of you want to activate, it will award me a fear. So, next time the 2 of you want to activate. As you feel this sort of like mental assault reverberate out of the creature, and it muddles your minds, and unbeknownst to you, your kind of mental auras, your psychic auras, your magical auras begin to glow that much brighter, which acts as a beacon for the creature. I'm going to go ahead and spend... Actually, no, I'm not. Because I'm going to pass it on to Rayri or Azakar.
You want to go, Rayri?
Happy to go. I think the first time Rayri woke up, she was just kind of like, just trying to just be like, Vinny, it's fine. It's fine. It's just like raccoons. It's fine. It's fine. And then realizes very quickly that it's a bit bigger than wildlife. And she runs out.
As you step out of
I
your
would
tent.
like... Yeah, always forget to use. Which I can spend a hope and make an attack. And it will become a ranger's focus. But I have to make a attack first.
As you run out of your tent. As you run out of your tent.
No.
Roll me.
No. I run back in my tent.
Roll me an instinct reaction.
Instinct reaction. That's a crit.
It's a crit.
Why do I always roll crits on reactions? Like, it's so unfair.
As you emerge from your tent and like you turn your head to the sound of the combat happening to your left, there's just this feeling, this twinge of nerves that rips up your neck into your mind, and you just like a sixth sense, you leap to your left as this large claw sweeps towards you, barely misses you, and arcs through and sort of like demolishes the front half of your tent, and you turn to realise there is a second creature prowling alongside your tent. So I'm gonna go ahead and add him
Well.
to the rota too. There are two beasties. You're welcome. So you can now continue.
Well, that guy's gonna get it.
Sure.
Then. He's gonna become my ranger focus.
I will say that currently this second beast that's between your and Cal's tent, it's enough in the darkness that you can't. It'll be disadvantaged to hit it. The other one though is illuminated by Cal's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
thing.
could. What if I've still got movement, surely. So if I go a little bit, just gonna jump a little bit out of the way of that bastard.
Yeah.
And I will. I'm gonna shoot for the one next to Cal, I think, because that was my original focus. So little hitty witty. 18 plus 3. 14. So that's a 13, 16 with fear.
16 with fear. Sorry, the one between Cal and Vanya, or the one between your two tents?
The one by Cal.
One by Cal. Okay, a 13. So 13 plus. Are you adding anything extra onto it?
3, 16.
16. That is a hit. Beg my pardon.
No. 16. Fab. That means he is now my ranger focus,
Okay.
which means I always precisely know which direction they're in. All damage rolls I make against them also deal a stress point.
Okay, so if it's stress.
And if I miss them, I can re-roll, but then lose ranger focus. Just so you kind of know what the dealio is.
Gotcha.
So you get a stress, as well as whatever this is going to be.
I apologise to anyone watching. The camera has gone funny. So 12 damage.
12 damage and a stress.
12 damage and stress. So it takes the stress, and that is you fire the arrow. It as it hurtles towards the creature, it turns and the arrow glances off the scales on its flank. That is actually only minor damage. But it's still taken 6 in total. Very, very good. Anything else, Rayri? Any other movement, or are you calling it there? All good?
That'll be it.
Okay, I think we're going to move straight on to Azakar. Azakar going next?
Yeah. Could I run out? I was going to say, could I run out with my lantern as well?
Yeah,
my lantern and my scabbard.
So that's I'll call that a 2010. Boop. Okay, Azakar has a lantern.
Azakar's gonna run out towards close to Rayri.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's not going to be able to see this other one that was behind her, and he can see the one that's between Cal, and noticing that Rayri's just made a shot at this one, he is also... Would you say that's in close range? That's in close range, isn't it?
Close is For our intents and purposes,
yes,
6 squares.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's fine.
So close as 30 foot.
Yeah, you're definitely in close.
Cool. With that, then I'm going to use my spirit weapon to launch my scabbard, my scimitar, towards him. Sorry, and try and whack him with that.
Okay. So that
is +3, so that is an 18 with fear.
18 with fear. What I will do off the back of Ravy's fear, because I forgot to add it, I'll up my fear by 1. Off the back of this fear, I'm going to introduce a complication, but that is a hit, Azakar.
2. Bum, bum, bum. +1. That is 10 points of damage towards that scaly boy.
Okay. And what does this look like again?
After he's seen Rayri sort of aim and make a hit, and he can see clearly where this monster is, he's gonna whip back his scimitar and just fling it like a boomerang towards this creature.
In which case, as you fling the scimitar, it arcs out. Vanya, you are able to sort of like track the trajectory of this blade, and you move your right leg up enough that the scimitar like pierces the creature's flank just behind its front right leg, and kind of arcs down its side, causing, whilst the wound in the grand scheme of things is relatively superficial, it twists up enough that Vanya, you're able to then finish the sort of like the twist of the neck. But yeah, Azakar, that is minor damage, but it slays the beast. And Vanya, you nice. You land with a bit of a thud as the creature's legs give out from underneath it. Anything else, Azakar?
No.
I think it's been more than enough time.
Because the spirit weapon comes back, just grabs it.
Okay, so you grab it back. I think it's been more than enough time for Alfric to roll me another instinct reaction test. Just in case you're still in your...
Through this entire thing. He's a sleepy boy. Is it with a disadvantage again?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay. In which case, the creature's kind of death rattle is enough to, like, you sit up with a start, and you can see through the silhouettes, like playing the shadows playing across your the canvas of your tent. You can see, and the sounds you can tell that something is happening outside. So Alfric, you are now eligible to jump into the initiative if you so wish.
He staggers outside, several rounds late, clutching his violin, like, ah!
In your gym jams.
What's going on? Yep, his little silk like sleeping hat.
Okay, so yeah, as you stagger out, we'll move you out the tent there. You do. The first thing you notice is Azakar and Rayri on the other side of this kind of sputtering campfire. Azakar illuminated by a lantern. And then as you scan, you can see that Vanya is currently on the back of this large, like, draconic beast that's slumped to the ground. And out the corner of your eye, you see another beast that has just turned to look at you as having just emerged.
Do I see it, or do I?
You see it's sort of like shadow.
Shadow there.
It's a very atypical. It's a very typical sort of like the gleaming eyes in the darkness, like it's reflecting the dying embers of the camp light. Also, I forgot to add to introduce a complication. As you stagger out, the night illuminates slightly. It's not showing. Hold. Illuminates as over the sort of like the ridge to the north of your camp, a glowing moat, like one of the floating lava orbs, begins floating in your direction. I will add that proper because there's a graphic for it and everything. This is going to be huge. Don't mind me. Ignore that. Don't mind that. There we go. There it is. Yes. It's glowing. It's about 15 feet off the ground, give or take. But it's about 10 foot in diameter, so it's actually floating about 10 feet off the ground, I'll argue. What do you do, Alfric?
I spotting this creature in the nearby darkness. Would you say that's close, or I can never tell what's close, what's not close?
Close is like 6 squares. Yeah, so that's definitely close. If anything, you're very close.
Okay. He's going to desperately cast Enrapture, in sort of the hope that whatever is chaos is going on over there, he can slow this particular monster, because he doesn't know if there are more around them. So I have to make a spellcast roll against a close target.
Okay.
On a success, you can temporarily keep their attention on you, narrowing their field of view and drowning out any sound but your voice.
Oh, blimey.
You can also
okay.
mark as stress.
As it's sound based, I'm gonna forego the disadvantage for it being in darkness. Roll them bones.
So I just roll. How do you roll a costume?
So for you, I believe it's presence checks. As a bard, I believe.
That's true. Yes. So just a normal. That is a 15. With hope.
15 with hope. That is a hit. So it doesn't do any damage. It just forces it to focus on you. Yeah.
Yes. And I can spend. I think I can. Sorry, one sec. I can. Where is it? And I can also deal a stress to it by marking a stress.
So mark just. Do you want to mark a stress to cause a stress?
Yes, I shall.
Okay. Big pardon. It takes a stress. So in which case, as you let. I imagine this to be a bit of a dissonant chord to grab its attention, and it turns to you, and you hear this low rumbling growl emit from somewhere deep within the beast, as it turns its attention to you. And in this moment, the way it stalks forward ever so slowly reminds you of watching prowling cats hunting small little songbirds in tree branches, and you realise in this moment that you are in fact the songbird. Anything else, Alfric?
I think that's it.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to interject and spend a fear to have it leap at you into the light. As it goes, it's gonna leap at you. Its eyes flash before it strikes Alfric, and your evasion is halved, rounding up, before it attacks you for +3. 8 to hit, but your evasion halved.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Like you find
so
yourself.
My evasion's usually 12, but it's 6 at the moment.
Oh, I ignore those rolls. I clicked the wrong button. In which case, you find yourself sort of like mesmerized for a moment too long, as the thing sort of like beguiles you with its stare, and then it bites down on you for 13 damage.
13 damage. Okay, that is.
Actually, it doesn't bite. It claws at you.
An armor slot. So yeah, that's major damage. I think I can take that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, you feel yourself flung to the ground as this thing, like, smacks you with this this unnaturally powerful strength. I'm going to. You know what? I think I'm then going to use its relentless ability to immediately take another turn. So it swiped at you, it spotted Rayri and Vinny, and Rayri, as it stalks towards you, your evasion is halved. I'm rolling hot on that. And it's going to swing at you in these wild swings for 20 to hit for 9 damage. You spend an armor? Yeah, okay. And as it sort of like leaps forward, slashes at Alfric, leaps forward again, slashes at Rayri, it plants its two front claws in the mossy ground and sort of like growls a challenge at you as well, Azakar. I'm going to pass my turn up. Who wants to step in next?
Does you want to go first, Cal?
Oh, I think you're on mute, Fear.
I'm mute.
You're mute.
Just double check the thing that's on me and Dan regarding the
yeah. So
what the other creature did to us, is that gone because it's dead, or is it not gone?
That is still active. So if either of you to activate, I'll gain a fear.
That's still active. Okay. Trying to think about that.
Well, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, thinking outside the box, Mr. DM, how difficult would it be for a strong boy to do this creature into the magma bubble?
Well, I mean,
If they tag team, is that just one fear?
It's true. That's a better question. I like that. It's technically one move.
Technically one move. If you tag team,
If you have levitating, that helps.
I mean, it would definitely help. The creature looks thick, 3Cs. It's a head like, well, I mean, Vanya and Cal, you know, because Cal, you've been punched by it, and Vanya, you've been wrestling it. Like, these are slabs of moving, it's like slabs of muscle, like tightly wound muscle. So, you know that beneath the crust of this magma orb. Oh, hello, am I back? Hello? I think we're lagging.
You're
broken.
Oh, hello.
We just heard thick crust back and forth.
That's exactly what I said. Right, am I back? Am I better? Hello.
We had
Yeah.
3Cs.
Okay.
A little bit.
Hello. Right. Test. Lag. Right, we're back. Hello.
Yep.
Apologies. So you know, Cal, because you've been punched by it, Vanier, because you've been wrestling it. These things are dense, heavy, packed, walking tanks of muscle. But Vanya, as you glance over, you do know that underneath the crust of this magma orb is hot. Well, I mean, it's lava, so of course it's hot. But if you were able to somehow introduce this dragon spawn to the magma inside the orb, bad things would happen to the dragon spawn. It's just a case of how you might go about getting this kind of 200-pound lump 10 feet in the air with enough velocity to enter the orb.
So how about this then, DM? What if with enough movement could I, with my cold, icy, windy arcane gauntlets, volleyball this magma onto the creature with Cowl holding, or like maybe pushing the creature towards the magma at the same time?
Opening it up like an egg.
Even Vanier would know that fundamentally, if you were to interact with this orb, the crust is gonna like crack, break away, and like fall into the magma. So there's no real, you can't like grab it because your hands would just go in it.
Even if I'm creating icy magic as I'm pushing it, cooling it down at the same time.
Let's see.
You can totally tell me it's
no.
not
I'm on board for it, and this is what hope and fear is for. This is what hope and fear is for. So you can absolutely try it.
I'm just thinking outside the box. We got this floating magma thing coming our way. Why not kill two birds with one stone? Throw the magma onto the creature. But if you think it's within the realm of possibility.
It's within the realm of possibility, yes.
You might lose your hands in the process.
It's either you introduce the orb...
You need those to make meat.
Yes. You either introduce the orb to the dragon spawn, or you introduce the dragon spawn to the orb. One of the two.
Maybe, how about this? Me and Cal, together, tag teaming, pushing that creature into the magma orb.
How are you getting
with the one almighty... Well, it's only 10 foot in the air, right?
Yeah.
With an uppercut. I've literally punched a ghost out of existence.
Well, Cal, did you want to tag team with this, or like Alfric has levitation? Is all I'm gonna say. Alfric has levitation as a spell.
Triple tag team.
I'm on the floor, but I have levitation.
I mean, I have plenty of hope, so I'm game to do something. I've got 5 hope, and I don't need them the same way that everyone else does. I think this is kind of good.
I have 4 hope. I have more than enough.
I've got you down as 6 hope. Alfric.
Ah, I don't know
Yeah,
where
6
that
hope.
came from.
Like
where did
you got some earlier.
So who would like to help Vanier, who is planning on rugby tackling this thing and like WWE style wrestling toss it into a floating orb of magma?
The levitation from Alfred would be very helpful in this scenario.
I can do that thing. I can check if there's any limitations on it. I don't think. Yeah. No. It has to be within close range of where you currently are. That's all.
Which
That's
is
limited.
absolutely fine.
You're within.
You're in
Yeah.
melee range.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Vanier taking the next turn?
Yes, I will. I will introduce that fear. To you, DM. I'll initiate the action.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say, "Get a bit of help!" as I start running towards this creature with a fist, sparking out wind and ice as I'm going for a rocket punch.
Okay, I'm gonna have to argue for. So, Alfric, if you're gonna levitate, that'll be. I assume it's a spell cast roll of some sort.
It's a spellcasting roll. Yep.
Okay.
Shall I roll that?
Well, if that is in inverted commas your roll, Vanier, your roll, and then we choose between the two, is a strength roll.
Yeah. Is a strength roll?
Yeah. And then
Do I
we
have
take the
any?
higher, presumably. Well, you choose which you take.
Yeah. Could I spend an experience in this scenario
What's the
at all
experience?
to improve my strength?
What's the experience in question?
I was good. So Thrill of the Hunt is my combat-y experience that I use. However, there's a small part of me that also I'm thinking cook to meat using my monstrous culinarian experience. Barbecue. But no.
No. As exotic as it is,
No,
cooking via floating
that's
lava
fine.
orb is not an
No.
acknowledged culinary art.
No.
Right, roll some
No,
dice.
that's fine. I'll do a straight roll.
Okay, yeah, spellcast
Yeah,
for
that's 3 for me.
spellcast
For my
Alfric.
strength. 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay, do we want to use?
21.
Sure.
Hold
Didn't
on.
George just
Is it a crit?
didn't George just get a crit?
Did I
No,
get crit? I was
no,
supposed to.
9
you
and
get a crit?
6.
No.
No.
It was a 9 and a 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I rolled with hope as well.
I mean, I got an 18.
18.
With my plus.
18 with
So
hope
yours are
and 21 with
I
hope.
should go more.
I got. Yeah. So basically, take my roll.
Well,
That's
whose
good.
do we want to
As-
pick? Because whoever's we pick gains hope. And actually, so Georgia actually needs. Alfric spends 3 hope. Sorry, beg pardon. To do the tag team. So that drops you down to 3. And okay, so yeah, who wants to take the hope? Alfric or Vanier?
I feel like with what we're trying to do here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to risk a low going below
Yeah, no,
20 on this
I'm
roll.
fine with the hope I've got at the moment. I'm fine with you.
Fine.
I'm worried if we went with your own, he'd be like, "Oh, you needed a 20
Okay.
to do this." I'm like, "No."
In which case, as this orb is kind of floating perilously close towards you, I'm hoping this won't be a pain like the last one was. Vanier, you grab this draconic beast, you effectively stoop low, like it raises up to bring down its claws on you as you kind of vault over the log, vault past Rayri and your tent, and you catch it under the front legs, and you lift it up, and it's like you're carrying a bear, like a scaly bear. And this orb that's kind of listing towards the center of your camp. What does your levitation sound like or look like, Alfric?
I imagine he kind of scrabbles for the violin that he kind of dropped when he was thrown to the floor, and he does a single sharp note that seems to rise up, and whatever he grabs sort of rises up with that note.
Okay. Very good. In which case, yeah, Vanya, you feel yourself, you feel the weight, the strain of your arms lessening as the creature begins to sort of lift off the ground. And as you slam it into the side of this, the crust of the magma globe, the crust cracks some more and then splits apart, and then that's the point, that's your cue to sort of let go and just finish with a shove with your shoulder. And the magma orb breaks into, the crust breaks into pieces and are immediately sucked into the heated magma in the center, and the horned hunter screams as it hits the side of this thing, and then is slowly slowly drawn in to the mass, and you have to step back and shield your eyes as the light is blinding and the heat is searing. Whose tents are they? Especially in the low light, it takes a while to kind of adjust, but that's Alfric and Cal. Alfric, you have to sort of roll out the way from the heat, and then you watch as yours and Cal's tents ignite and burst into flames. The creature screams as it's absorbed in, and the heat of the orb causes it to rise up into the night sky, and as the creature sort of disappears into the magma, end of Terminator 2 style, just the claw going in last, it rises up enough into the sky and it illuminates the light sky for a moment before the outer edge, it rises high enough that the outer edge begins to cool and it recrusts. And by the time the orb lists back down to ground level, it has cleared the camp, and the creature is very, very dead. In fact, there's not even a bloodstain. There's definitely not a bloodstain. But yes, as you watch this orb kind of disappear overhead, and sort of recrossed over, as the sound of the creature's cries die out, Cal, you pick yourself up from the far side. You hear a rather confused voice. "What's going on?" says Gannis as he sort of crawled out the end of his tent, looking around in confusion. And as he
thought he was here.
Yeah. As he stands and looks over at you, he sees that you gathered around the campfire, he peers over his shoulder at you, Cal, stood at the head of this slain beast. You watch as the creature's form seemingly sort of putrefies into a dark shadowy mist, and then it dissipates, returning presumably to whichever dragon spawned it. And as Gannis looks to the five of you and, "What just happened?" he says. We'll call it there.
Vanya just drops to his knees. The meat!
The meat!
That was breakfast.
So, with that, with that combat over, that nighttime combat over, yeah, we will call it there. Congratulations, everyone! You did it.
Hey, thank you for letting us be creative.
You are more than right. So yeah, that is pretty much that. So with that combat out the way, with your welcome to Merethisos firmly in hand, we will see what the rest of your adventure has to hold next time. If you are enjoying this, or if you're interested to see more Daggerheart stuff like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or follow if you're over on Twitch. We are going to be playing every other week, and VODs will be available on YouTube once a week. But there's also loads and loads of other stuff. We play D&D, we play Blades in the Dark, we're going to be playing Pugmy, we're going to be playing Wrath and Glory. There's all sorts for you to catch up with, and you can find that all over on YouTube. So definitely come say hello if you haven't already. Thank you all for playing. Let's make your faces beautifully bigger. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Daisy, for sleeping. Yeah, if we will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye 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 bye.